Kevin Stefanski is feeling the pressure as rumors swirl around a staggering $200 million trade offer for Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns head coach is scrambling to justify why the team's most promising young quarterback is riding the bench. Despite being the son of NFL legend Deion Sanders and a top rookie talent, Shedeur is being denied meaningful reps. And now, the front office is facing a decision that could define their future. With the New York Jets aggressively pursuing Sanders, even dangling star receiver Garrett Wilson.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Cleveland's internal dysfunction is being dragged into the spotlight, exposing a franchise once again caught in a quarterback crisis of its own making. This isn't just about one trade. It's about a systemic failure to nurture elite talent. Stefanski's unwillingness to elevate Sanders raises real questions. Is this about development or about optics and fear of media backlash tied to Deion's shadow? While teams like the Jets see Shedeur as a franchise cornerstone ready to lead, Cleveland appears more interested in shielding him. Or worse, using him for branding leverage. The Browns front office must now decide. Protect the status quo, or give their future a real shot. A $200 million trade offer. Garrett Wilson on the table. Shedeur Sanders at the center of it all. And somehow, the Cleveland Browns still can't get their quarterback situation under control. What's going on in Ohio? The NFL world is buzzing right now. And for once, it's not just about the Jets being desperate or the Browns being dysfunctional. It's about both. And it all revolves around one name, Shedeur Sanders. Let's start with the obvious. Shedeur isn't just another rookie quarterback. He's the son of Deion Sanders, a college football star in his own right, and one of the most talked about young QBs in the league. The hype? Massive. The expectations? Even bigger. But while other teams are throwing everything they got to build around a promising young quarterback, the Browns are doing the exact opposite. In what can only be described as a full-blown trade saga, an AFC powerhouse has reportedly offered the Browns a jaw-dropping $200 million package for Shedeur Sanders. We're talking about multiple picks and Garrett Wilson. That's not just a deal, that's a franchise-altering offer. And yet, Cleveland's front office looks like they just got caught playing Madden on rookie mode. Head coach Kevin Stefanski is right in the middle of the storm, and not in a good way. Reports say Shedeur isn't even getting meaningful practice reps. You've got a high-upside, highly marketable rookie QB, and instead of developing him, they're benching him. For what? Veteran loyalty? Fear of media backlash? Or just plain indecision? Let's not forget, this is the same Cleveland Browns organization with a long history of quarterback carousels. Talent mismanagement isn't new for them. It's a tradition. So it's not surprising that when they finally get someone with Shedeur's potential, they don't seem to know what to do with him. Now contrast that with the New York Jets. The Jets are coming in hot, throwing Garrett Wilson and other high-value assets into the mix to try and bring Shedeur to New York. Why? Because they're not waiting around. They're ready to build around a young quarterback now. They're offering him something Cleveland won't: immediate development, real practice reps, and a chance to take the field. It's almost like watching two completely different sports philosophies play out. On one side, you got the Jets, desperate but proactive. On the other, the Browns, stuck in neutral, overthinking, and possibly more interested in Shedeur's marketing value than his actual development as a player. And that's where things get even messier. There's a growing suspicion that the Browns didn't draft Shedeur for football reasons. At least, not entirely. Some believe he's being treated more like a marketing asset than a quarterback. After all, Shedeur brings attention, headlines, and a famous last name. But what good is all of that if you're not going to let the man play? There's even talk that Stefanski and the front office are intentionally keeping him out of the spotlight. Some say it's to protect him, like a long-term plan to shield him from their weak offensive line. Others call it a smokescreen for a deeper issue. They don't believe in him, or they don't want the pressure turning him into a franchise quarterback. And to be fair, Cleveland isn't completely without logic. Their offensive line has been struggling. Throwing a rookie QB behind that mess could ruin him. That part's valid. But here's the problem. If you're not giving him meaningful reps in practice either, then what's the plan? Development doesn't happen by osmosis. It happens on the field. If the Browns truly believed in Shedeur, they'd be getting him reps, period. And while this internal tug-of-war plays out, the Jets are circling like sharks. Garrett Wilson, a top-tier wide receiver, is reportedly on the table. That alone tells you how much New York wants Shedeur. They're not just making an offer. They're ready to build a team around him. That's the kind of investment a young QB needs. That's what Mahomes got. That's what Burrow got. That's what Shedeur isn't getting in Cleveland. And let's be honest, we've seen this movie before. A young, talented QB stuck in a franchise that doesn't know what to do with him. Internal politics, media pressure, and the ever-looming shadow of a famous father. It's not just about Shedeur's talent. It's about how much baggage people think he brings. And that's on the Browns, too. Deion Sanders is a media force. Wherever Shedeur goes, the spotlight follows. That's both a blessing and a curse. And in Cleveland, it feels more like a curse. You can practically feel the tension between wanting to leverage that attention and being terrified of it. And so far, the Browns have done exactly what they always do when faced with pressure: freeze. And while they stall, the media's having a field day. Every day that Shedeur sits on the bench, every vague statement from Stefanski, we're evaluating all options, quote, all adds fuel to the fire. People are questioning Cleveland's intentions. Are they protecting Shedeur or just afraid to commit? Because if it's about protection, fine. But that only works if there's a timeline, a plan, and nothing coming out of Cleveland suggests they've got one. Meanwhile, New York is more than ready to take the gamble. They're not worried about the media circus. They're embracing it. They see a quarterback with charisma, pedigree, and potential, and they want him on the field. That's the difference. That's why this trade offer matters. The $200 million package isn't just a flashy headline. It's a statement. It's a reminder that other teams see what Cleveland doesn't or won't. That Shedeur is more than a headline. He's a quarterback with real upside. And the longer Cleveland sits on him, the clearer it becomes that they might never see it. And here's the thing. Shedeur's talent is going to shine somewhere. Whether that's in Cleveland, New York, or somewhere else entirely. The potential is real. The only question is, will the Browns figure that out before it's too late? Because the clock is ticking. The trade deadline is looming. And the decisions being made behind closed doors right now, they could define the future of two franchises. If the Browns trade him, they'll be giving up on a quarterback they never really tried to develop. If they keep him and still refuse to use him, they're stalling his career. And if they wake up too late, they could end up watching Shedeur thrive in another jersey, while they're still searching for answers at quarterback. So what's it going to be, Cleveland? Are you building a future, or just selling jerseys? Let us know what you think. Should Shedeur stay in Cleveland? Should he head to New York? Drop your take in the comments. Hit that like button if you're just as confused by the Browns as we are. And don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns of the biggest drama in sports. This saga is just getting started. We're not just watching a trade rumor unfold. We're watching a full-blown identity crisis within the Cleveland Browns organization. And at the center of it, a 21-year-old rookie quarterback who might not even want to be there. Let's be honest. Shedeur Sanders didn't sign up for the circus. When the Browns drafted him, it was supposed to be a chance to reset their reputation. A young, smart, composed quarterback with the kind of media magnetism teams should be dying to build around. You'd think they'd want to protect that investment. You'd think they'd be proud to develop him, excited to show the world what they were building. But instead, they buried him on the depth chart, then tried to explain away like it was some master plan. And the public? Not buying it. Not when other teams are openly offering to mortgage their future just to get him. And that's where the pressure cooker really starts heating up. Because Kevin Stefanski isn't just coaching a football team anymore. He's managing a crisis. Let's talk about those practice reps. Or lack of them. Reports say Shedeur's not getting meaningful first-team time. That's not just weird. That's telling. You don't draft a quarterback that high. See him light it up in college. Watch him handle the spotlight better than half the league, and then sit behind clipboard duty unless something is very off behind the scenes. Is it fear of failure? Is it Stefanski trying to protect his job by sticking with a safe veteran QB? Or is this internal politics between the coaching staff and the front office? Because someone clearly thinks Shedeur isn't ready, and someone else clearly thinks he's worth $200 million and Garrett Wilson. Two completely different evaluations in the same league at the same time. And that kind of split doesn't just happen by accident. It points to something bigger, a fundamental disagreement about what kind of quarterback Shedeur is, and more importantly, what kind of quarterback he could become. Let's go back to the Jets for a second, because their role in this is critical. They're not just interested, they're hungry. And yes, some of that is desperation. Aaron Rodgers is aging, Zach Wilson is Zach Wilson, and the Jets need a new direction, fast. But more than that, the Jets see Shedeur. They're treating him like what he is, a potential franchise cornerstone, and they're willing to throw real assets on the table to make it happen. Garrett Wilson isn't just some random name in this deal. He's a proven offensive weapon. Trading him is a major gamble, but that's what belief looks like. You bet on the future. You give up something good because you think something great is on the horizon. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, it's like they're waiting for someone else to validate their own pick, waiting for media to cool down, waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. And all that hesitation, it's exactly how you lose great players. Because let's be real, Shedeur knows what's happening. You think Deion Sanders doesn't have the pulse on every conversation happening behind the scenes? You think Shedeur is not hearing the whispers, reading the quotes, watching other young quarterbacks get chances while he holds a clipboard? You think he doesn't notice that the team who drafted him is fielding trade offers instead of building around him? That affects a player. It changes trust. It alters the vibe in the locker room. And once you've planted the seed of maybe we don't believe in you, it's hard to unplant it. The Browns have had decades to figure out how to develop a quarterback. They've tried everything. Draft picks, free agents, trades, retreads. Nothing has worked. And now, finally, they get a quarterback who's media savvy, tough under pressure, and oozes star power, and they're sidelining him. This isn't just a missed opportunity. It's malpractice. And don't get distracted by the we're protecting him narrative either. That's not development. That's babysitting. If your offensive line is bad, then fix your offensive line. Don't waste your rookie QB's first year sitting on the bench, learning nothing but how to be a decoy. Because at some point, potential has an expiration date. Let's look at what happens if this trade goes through. Shedeur lands in New York. The media frenzy is instant. The jersey sales skyrocket. He's plugged into a system that's desperate to win, with a team willing to tailor their offense around him. He gets reps. He gets mistakes. He gets to learn the hard way on the field. In 2 years, you're looking at a confident, seasoned quarterback who's been forged in fire. And back in Cleveland, you're probably still spinning the quarterback carousel, still wondering why nothing sticks. This is what makes the Browns' handling of this situation so frustrating. Because Shedeur is exactly what they've been looking for. And they're fumbling it, not just on the field, but in perception, strategy, and execution. And let's not overlook the media component here. The fact that Shedeur is Deion's son, that's not just a fun headline. It's a challenge for any front office. Every move gets amplified. Every misstep is dissected. But if you're afraid of the media, you're in the wrong business. You don't draft a Sanders and then act surprised when the spotlight follows. You embrace it. You use it to elevate your team, not retreat from it. And right now, Cleveland looks like it's running from the very thing it signed up for. You can feel the energy in the league shifting. Teams are watching. Executives are taking notes. If the Browns let this opportunity slip away, if they trade Shedeur or continue to sit on him without a plan, it's going to become a cautionary tale. Another chapter in the long book of Cleveland quarterback failures. Because here's the brutal truth. This isn't about whether Shedeur Sanders is good enough. He is. It's about whether the Browns are the kind of organization that knows what to do with talent when they have it. Right now, the answer doesn't look promising. And maybe that's why teams like the Jets are stepping up. Maybe they've seen this story before. A young QB stuck in a losing system, wasting valuable development time, while other teams are willing to take the leap. That's what makes this trade saga feel so pivotal. It's not just a transaction, it's a test. Can the Browns finally break their cycle of dysfunction? Can they recognize talent when it's right in front of them? Or are they going to let fear, pressure, and media noise send another quarterback packing, only to watch him become a star somewhere else? We've seen it happen too many times. So the question hangs in the air, and the answer's not going to come from a press conference or a vague statement about future evaluations. It's going to come from action, from either committing to Shedeur and building the system around him, or letting someone else do it first. And if that second option happens, you better believe fans, players, and analysts are going to be asking the same thing. What exactly were the Browns thinking? Let's be blunt. If Cleveland lets Shedeur Sanders slip through their fingers, it's not just a missed opportunity. It's a self-inflicted wound, one they've carved into their own roster time and time again. Quarterback talent has come and gone in Cleveland like a revolving door. Some were busts. Some were never given a chance. Some were just dropped into the chaos and expected to swim. But Shedeur, he's different, not just because of his name, but because of what he represents. A chance, finally, for this franchise to get it right. And yet, here we are, in October, still debating whether he should even be taking practice reps. You'd think after everything the Browns have been through, after all the jersey memes, the draft whiffs, the never-ending stream of maybe this guy's the one, they'd be jumping the chance to break the cycle. But instead, they're flirting with another disaster. And let's not pretend this is all hypothetical. A $200 million offer isn't smoke. That's fire. That's a team like the Jets coming in with a full-blown rescue mission. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about acquiring Shedeur. This is about saving him from a team that doesn't seem to know what they have. And look, the Jets aren't exactly the gold standard of quarterback development either. But at least they're trying. At least they're making a move. At least they're saying, we believe in you enough to make a sacrifice. Garrett Wilson is no throwaway asset. He's a star. Putting him on the table is a statement. Now look back at Cleveland. No statements. No clarity. Just whispers. And in the NFL, indecision is just another form of failure. What's wild is how public all of this has become. Usually, trade rumors stay quiet until something's about to go down. But this, it's spilling out across the league like a leak that can't be contained, which tells you something critical. The tension inside Cleveland isn't just rumor mill chatter. It's real, it's active, and it's coming to a head. There's one side of the Browns that sees Shedeur as a long-term project. Someone to stash, develop slowly, protect from failure. But the other side, the one that sees a league full of teams ready to pounce, knows this moment won't last forever. Because let's be real, if you get an offer like this and you don't take it, then you'd better have a plan. A real one. A plan that includes reps, development, and eventually Shedeur under center. If they don't, then what are we doing here? Are the Browns really just holding on to him because of name value? Because he puts people in seats? Because his last name sells jerseys and keeps their media relevance afloat? Because if that's the case, if that's even part of the equation, then we've got a bigger problem. Using a rookie quarterback as a marketing tool while sidelining his development is not strategy. It's sabotage. It's short-sighted. And it shows a total misunderstanding of what this league is about. You don't stumble into long-term success in the NFL. You build it. Quarterback development isn't passive. It's active. It's gritty. It's messy. And it takes risk. The Browns have a choice. They can either step into that risk or they can watch another team do it first. And that's where the trade deadline becomes a point of no return. This isn't going to drag out forever. Teams are watching. Players are watching. Hell, fans are begging for a decision. Because right now, every day that passes without a plan is a day lost for Shedeur. A day lost for Cleveland. A day gained for every other team ready to scoop him up. And you better believe, if Shedeur ends up balling out in another uniform, the finger-pointing in Cleveland will be deafening. Kevin Stefanski? Under fire. Front office? Under fire. Ownership? Definitely under fire. Because when you mishandle a player with this much upside, this much visibility, the backlash will come, and it won't be subtle. You don't get infinite chances in this league to get the quarterback right. Ask Chicago. Ask Washington. Ask any team that's still cycling through stopgap guys and practice squad promotions. Cleveland had their chance. They still have it. But that window is shrinking fast. And let's talk about what happens if Shedeur doesn't get traded. Let's say the Browns ignore the offer, double down on their non-committal development plan, and ride the year out with Shedeur on the sidelines. What's the message there? That he's not ready? That they don't trust him? That they think the media attention is too much? Or worse, that they're hoping to keep the noise going just long enough to squeeze out some brand value before flipping him later? Either way, it's a bad look. It tells the rest of the league that Cleveland doesn't trust its own draft picks, that they don't believe in their developmental system, that they're either scared of success or allergic to commitment. Meanwhile, in New York, the energy is completely different. If Shedeur lands there, he's the future. He's the starter in waiting. He's the guy. And even if he struggles early, because let's be honest, all young quarterbacks do, it'll be framed as growth, as progress, as part of the process. Because that's what real investment looks like. You give someone the tools and the patience, not one or the other. Cleveland hasn't done that. Not yet, and the clock is running out. You can only string a rookie along for so long before you break trust, before you damage confidence, before you turn a promising talent into just another name on the list of what could have been. And fans? They're already fed up. You can feel it. Scroll through any Browns discussion thread, and it's all the same questions. Why isn't Shedeur getting reps? Why draft him if you're not going to play him? What's the plan here? And those aren't just casual complaints. Those are red flags. Warning signs that your fan base is losing faith in the direction of the team. Because it's one thing to rebuild. It's another thing to stall out. And right now, Cleveland looks like it's stalling. The smart move? Make a decision. Fast. Either commit to developing Shedeur with action, not just press conference platitudes, or trade him to a team that will. Because sitting on the fence? That's not a strategy. That's an excuse. And this league doesn't reward excuses. So if you're the Browns, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep Shedeur in limbo until the whole situation implodes? Or are you going to finally take the leap and give the kid the shot he deserves? Time's almost up. Let us know what you think down below. Does Cleveland need to pull the trigger and let Shedeur go? Or are they playing it smart by keeping him on the bench for now? Like the video if you're tired of seeing quarterbacks wasted by bad management. Share with your friend who's convinced Shedeur would be a superstar if he could just get out of Cleveland. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. We've got more wild NFL drama where this came from. And trust us, this isn't the last twist in the Shedeur Sanders saga.